What is up, people? Half Slab Bacon here with the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right, we have my automatic lag-free melon and pumpkin farm for 1.11, made possible with the new observer block. So guys, I know some of you are having deja vu. Did we build this in the snapshots and then fix it? And then it broke again. Yeah, so we are back now that we're in 1.11 stable, and they've made up their mind how observer blocks and pistons work with what I'm hoping is the permanent farm that never needs to be fixed, but you never know with Mojang, right? This should be it though. So it works on a one wide tileable bud powered design, meaning it's only going to fire off when it needs to harvest, which is why it's no lag, no clocks, no pistons firing all the time for no reason, etc., etc. So it works by having our lovely observer block detect the space in which the melon will grow, and it's going to power a sticky piston up here, which is very important because this sticky needs to pull this. And the way the mechanics work now, even though this bad boy up here is only detecting air, it's still going to power when it moves, which is going to push the power into this block, which is going to power our piston. And because it's such a short pulse, it is going to depower and go back. And we're going to get pumpkin and melon for days like so. And the beauty of this is when they changed it so that it weakly powered blocks, it means we can build these designs side by side and they're not going to mess with each other. They're not going to go all wonkers and stuff like usually, you know, you see bud powering do. So I built a little glass platform here, guys, because I'm going to not go underground. I'm going to build this above ground so it's easiest for you to see what I'm doing. But if it was my choice and I was building this, say, into the wall in my base, I would probably make this the first block above ground, you know, for showcase, so you walk by at the site and you see your melons and stuff, that kind of thing, and put all this underground. Also, if you want to build it outdoors and you want to build like a freestanding building, that's simple as well. You just flip this around and you mirror it on this side, and you could connect the rail system so you only had one minecart going all the way back and forth, and then say maybe had your hoppers come out and do a chest system on one end with a dropper elevator going up and doing all the things. As far as dropper elevators, we're going to get into those and other elevators in future tutorials as well. But the way I would personally design it is, and I am going to do it in my SSP, I'm going to have this bad boy go into my bulk storage area. So for that reason, I'm going to show you how to route our hoppers out the back. But if you wanted to, guys, you could always just route them into a chest in the front. That's doable. Say having your chest underground, you could route your hoppers around underneath and you'd be A-okay. So I'm going to show you how to do this with the minimal amount of powered rails, so it's cheaper. But you could just use these redstone blocks in the middle and go full on powered rails. You can also make this as long as you want, provided that you make sure that you've got powered rails for the minecart to travel on far enough. So like every 16 blocks, you'd need a powered rail to keep that thing going when it is empty. And yeah, that's how that works. Now, the reason this redstone block is here and not here is because we are going to put our hopper system here. And if I put just one powered rail here with the redstone block there, it would lock our hoppers. And then the items wouldn't go anywhere. And that would suck, guys. Because, yeah, that would just suck. Then we'd have all the things gone. So for purpose of routing this out the back, we're just going to go like so. And no, I always forget the chesticles. I forget we shouldn't need this, so we're going to grab a chesticle. We're just going to put a chesticle here for now, for simplicity's sake. But yeah, my preference would be to route it into a dropper into a water stream or just a long bay of hoppers going into my bulk storage. However, we're not building the bulk storage today. That's for another tutorial. Okay, so once we got our rails here, guys, it's pretty simple. We need to build a clock that'll power this rail, but then shut it off when we need it powered. Now I'm going to put this, and some of you will go, but you're placing a torch above the hopper. It's going to lock the hopper. Then your system's not going to work. Stuff's going to go all wonky, and it will suck forever and ever and ever. You're wrong, I tell you, you're wrong. Here's what's going to happen, okay? When the minecart actually hits here, it's going to depower this, right? And in doing so, how it does that is it shuts this torch off. So this hopper is going to be active long enough to flow out. Will some items get stuck here? Yeah, 3 melons or pumpkins. That's what it's going to work out to be. That's it. And those will stay there, and any other time it goes moving forward, it'll just push the rest of the items through, and so on and so forth. Okay? So if you were really worried about getting absolutely every item, you could just take the hoppers down one lower to get them a block away from this torch, but it's not really a problem, and this makes it more compact. So we're also going to want a solid block there so that our minecart can bounce back and forth, back and forth. We're not going to put the minecart here yet because it will be a pain in the patootie while I'm building. But we're going to get rid of this other stuff we don't need ATM. And we're going to grab our hoe and our pumpkin seeds and all the other stuff we're going to need. Lighting we can hold off on for now. So what we're going to want to do from here, now that we have our whole clock and minecart system established, is we're going to want to build our dirt in a star pattern. Why a star pattern? Well, put simply, guys, the way the growth algorithm works for melons and pumpkins, stop me if you've heard this before, is the more hydrated soil they have on each side of the stem, the faster they grow. So the ideal would be 4, but then we'd have to change our whole design here on how everything works. And we wouldn't be able to use the bud. We'd have to convert to using a clock, or we'd have to make it way larger and less space efficient, which would suck. So we're going to do it this way to make it compact and pretty. And of course, you see those breaking. Aha! That's because I'm dumb and I haven't put water there yet. Now we're going to want water. Where are we going to put the water? Well, and for basically this whole setup here, I'm going to use glass wherever I do not need a solid block, guys. And that's just so this whole thing is easier for you to follow, okay? So you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to want to create a tunnel to put our waters in to hydrate our land. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want it next to these adjacent blocks here at every single one to maximize the hydration. That will speed up our melon and pumpkin farms. Then in our star, which is missing the soil on this side, because we can max with this design, get 3 out of 4, we're going to want to pump it up and plant. Now we're going to want to alternate here. Pumpkin, melon, pumpkin, melon, pumpkin. And the reason we're doing that is because if you put them next to each other, they compete for this block, and that actually slows the growth down. So we don't want that, right? We want to maximize how often they grow so we can maximize our yields. Pretty simple, right? So we'll just throw these back for now. We're done with that. Now we're going to need our redstone components for the rest of the tutorial. And this is basically all we need moving forward. That and a lighting block, which I forgot to grab. And that's it, guys. It's a simple design, but it works really well because it works based on the actual growth algorithm. Now on the bottom here, we're going to want to place regular pistons, and we're going to want them directly behind where the melons will grow. So we're going to do a star pattern like so. Stop me if you've seen this before last time I built this. I know. Hey, it should be permanent this time. Blame Mojang for changing stuff all the time. That jerks! Just kidding. I love you, Mojang. So that's it, right? That's it, that's all. Next, we're going to want to place temporary blocks on our soil so that we can place our observer blocks down to watch the soil. Then from there, we're going to want to go up and we're going to want to place our observers with our happy face facing down. Don't ask me why it's a happy face when it's not on the other versions of Minecraft. Because, you know, it's all about keeping things consistent, Mojang. Unless you decide otherwise. Yeah. And then we're going to want to put light here because the stems actually need a light level of 9 or higher to grow. So by placing it directly above them, we optimize that part of the growth algorithm and make sure that stays speedy. That's it for the front, guys. It's as simple as that. Now, of course, for this section, you're going to want to put, you know, whatever decorative blocks you want coming up and covering stuff. You could put a solid block here if you didn't want to see it at all. You can put your glass so you can see your redstone. Whatever. I'm just going to cut and fill this and I'll BRBs. Okay, so now that we have this filled in, the main important part is the glass surrounding our soil area, because we actually do not want any of the pistons shooting our melons and pumpkins out anywhere else. Now we can go ahead and you could go down and break this block if that's how you want to do it. And let's get our minecart. And let's go ahead and place that. And when we place our block back, it's going to power and send it on its way. And as soon as we get the rest of our setup going, it'll start harvesting and collecting. So you're going to want to come to the back. And this time, we're going to use the sticky pistons. So I'm just going to fly here to make it easier. And we're going to go like so. And then we're going to want to come in underneath here. And we're going to place these. Now it is going to push them out. Don't worry about that. Works as intended. This is actually the off state of the farm. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And then we need to place our powered block. So it has to be a solid block that is capable of transmitting redstone power. And that's actually it, guys. That's it. That's all for the farm. Now, I would like to point out, I have glass down here, so nothing can spawn underneath these areas. But if you were building it into a wall and say you had, you know, stone here or a spawnable block, you'd probably want to put some light sources in at the back. You could just drop torches or, you know, solid blocks, however you want to do it. Really, option is up to you. Or you could even do like this and fill it in with glass. In my survival, I'll probably leave those areas open and just put some lighting in to prevent spawns. Just because should the design ever change in the future, I like having access to my redstone, right? So there is one last step, guys, that you shouldn't run into. But just in case, I would like to point out. And that is, until you've done that, if there are melons and pumpkins out front here, you're going to have to come in. You're going to have to manually harvest them the first time just to get it going because you had no pistons there to catch it. But once that's done, guys, that's it. That is your farm. Nice and simple. So as I said, my preference would probably be to say, I don't know, maybe have my ground floor about here so I could see in and like say have those solid blocks and maybe those solid blocks and the rest built into a wall kind of thing. So this is what you saw when you walked by. or even put the glass there so the lighting was exposed. Put your solid blocks up here, you know, whatever. It is what you make of it. As long as you want, reverse it, make the freestanding. It really is kind of easy to adjust your sizes and needs to, as each tile operates independently. So guys, I hope you enjoy. I'm looking forward to building it in my survival world now that we're in 1.11 stable, and I hope you enjoy it too. Should this farm ever require a fix, I will of course issue an update video, but based on what I see in the mechanics, it shouldn't, unless they go squirrely again. As for dropper elevators and all the other things, look forward to the future tutorials coming up on the channel. As always, guys, smash that like if you enjoyed the episode to help others like yourself who might enjoy the content find the channel. And if you're new and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, peeps, for more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.